I've seen that.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in this morning.
We got a marketing meeting.
We're gonna run through here not a whole lot of news in the markets. We are seeing a little excitement today. We've got markets up. What are they at the moment?
Now.
Up 20. So your cash prices you see here might be a little bit higher today. I did have one exporter tell me yesterday afternoon they sold kind of some surprise business, private work. Maybe could lead to a little bit more down the road, but I guess it would lead to some feed wheat sales, but we don't really care what their end use is as long as it's getting sold, we'll take it. So jump in here to the price sheet. Been fairly steady, pushed up a little bit this week. Futures have kind of been choppy all week long. Tough to really pick a direction, but I would say we are up for the week. Probably see a little push to those numbers today, just given the action over on the future side, as long as it holds out here for another 2 hours before cash bids go out. Are we going to be step for step? No. So don't be expecting 650 today on the bid sheet, Ernie. So, well, I guess maybe we will then push it up. We'll see. We had the WASD report on the 11th. No major surprises there. I mean, they tweaked a little bit of ending stocks, but it was just based on some use and things like that. I think overall, both U.S. and world supply were knocked down just a little bit. But if we do flip through to page number 7 in our packet, that's the actual breakdown of the numbers for wheat. Always like to look at wheat by class. And basically the very bottom line there is going to give you your comparison of the January report versus the current February report. And you can see through that, looking through there, we had ending stocks about 4 million bushels lower than we had last month, just some minor adjustments. And really you just saw those in, it looks like a little bit in hard red, or spring wheat, and then the ever popular durum. So that's what we're moving there. Flipping to export sales report that was out yesterday. Pretty strong numbers, actually. Probably helped keep us from falling off completely on futures yesterday. But, corn, that number was right at the upper end of expectations. Looks like soybeans were lagging behind a little bit. Wheat, though, right near the top of expectations. So 20.9 million bushels for the week. And it's pretty well spread across most categories, which is kind of interesting to see. We don't have one stronger than the other. I do know this week on the MAF business, which would be the Japanese business for the week, there was no white wheat on that tender. They were buying, I believe it was probably red wheats, maybe a little spring wheat or hard red. I can't remember which one, but it sounds like the vast majority of the purchase for this week was going to be Canadian wheat that they were asking for. So, and it's been pretty anemic on their actual Western white they've been buying. I mean, it could be as little as 2 barges, maybe 3 barges. So it doesn't take a whole lot on that. Guys are able to pretty much sell it with what they've got. So moving through that, let's take a look at where white wheat was for the week, where we went to. Did have the largest purchaser of the week being unknown. Before we get excited and think that's PRC, it's probably going to be a private sale on one of those top 2. I would imagine either Philippines or Korea. I would like to be wrong, but I just don't see that happening with China right now. So that is where we're at. We're still needing some of that swing business to move the peg. It does feel, though, comment I got yesterday is that the world values are pushing up a little bit. I did see in some an article from the overnight talking about some of the Russian offers. They're actually slightly above that floor that they had set. So as long as those continue to push upward, we're going to see price support on IR side of things, which is also obviously positive news. Right now, we're shifting into the mode, new crop technically starts 1st of June on the marketing year for USDA. We're pretty much almost there. Again, exporter business that we're looking at, exporters are really only interested in buying wheat April, May timeframe right now. So that puts you right out at the end of the marketing year. That being said, as we're starting to look forward to new crop, everybody's going to start really paying attention to winter or weather, I should say. Looking at winter kill, looking at, how dry it is. And I think we'll turn up the volume on that and probably see more volatility on the future side just based upon weather reports from here going forward until we get, heck, if it stays uncertain, we could see it farther out throughout spring. Always go back to the first week or two I was worked for MCP, and they got a foot of snow in the Midwest the 1st of May, and we saw markets go crazy. So it's one thing I won't forget. So we we're in the weather market mode. I think everybody's looking at new crop. Obviously the Russian figures are going to be pretty big. We know that it has been dry. It sounds like they're starting to maybe be some consensus on that. Winter kill scares here in the Midwest, but we all know we've got to kill this crop multiple times before we actually have some impact on it long term. So that's basically where things are going to be looking. Cash prices probably going to stay somewhat steady here. Maybe this window we were looking at where we were trading from $6 up to a $6.20. Maybe that shifted upwards a little bit here, as long as we can keep futures up. And what is the May trading at right now, Jeff, price wise?
611.
As long as we can keep up above that $6 figure, I think we'll continue to see the support there. Shoot, we haven't seen it up this high in quite a while, with $6 all the way down the board, 6+. So I would say looking forward, if you're comfortable doing base price contracts as we start to push up new crop numbers, July is probably a little bit off yet from the 650 target to where we can start looking at those, but that's probably a figure, not a bad place to start marketing wheat for next year on a base price contract. If we can get, put that on the book for July, September, either month, and then go ahead and try to, target a 40-50 cent basis. It's putting you on that closer to that $7 figure, which we obviously haven't seen on the cash price for quite a while. So might not be a bad plan to start some in next year's crop. I know guys are wanting to get rid of the rest of this year's crop, and my advice there, as it has been, is continue to sell on these upswings. We gain 5 cents, go ahead and peel off 5,000 bushels or whatever, or just be like Ernie and give up and just sell it and move on. And there we go. You guys can all send Ernie a thank you card, he says.
I did sell it 3 different times though. Since we go around this last month, so I picked up about a dime each time. So
perfect.
So I should have held just a little more powder.
Yeah, new crop coming.
But with that, I don't see any questions in the chat this morning. I don't know if anybody out there in Zoom land has anything they'd like to add this morning. I don't see Mr. Powell on there, so. And Budrow is on vacation. So one of my good friends just sent me a text message and drew my attention away, and I see he's on this meeting. So thanks for that, Josh. With that, I will dismiss class and we'll go play in the snow. There's somebody here that's got a bunch of sidewalks to get shoveled, he said today, before he goes sledding. So we'll talk with everybody later.